Good morning, guys. I have changed my table again. This is not permanent. I'm planning on making stitch markers. That's why I have these here. I'm trying to think of designs for the stitch markers. So let me take you through my table. Here we have an adapter because I have electronics from America. So I use this adapter to be able to use the current in Nigeria. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. My battery, my power bank for charging my phone, my Samsung wireless charger. It can actually charge my iPhone, thank goodness. My Silhouette Cameo 4 cutter. I bought this and I haven't used it enough, so I'm going to start using this a lot. My laptop, my earphones, my camera, a book to jot down ideas, my mirror, just random items that are not important, my mannequin to try on hats, and that's it. I want to keep this table as minimum as possible, so I've moved my crochet projects into that bin right there, and as time goes on it's going to get bigger, so I'm going to have to get a shelf. But I don't want to buy any furniture or anything while I'm living in this place. I want to wait until I move to my state, Cross River State, before I buy any like furniture or items. But if I have to get something, I'll get it. But I'm only going to be here for another 5 to 7 more months, so I don't want to buy anything. So the lighting is not good because it's raining outside, so it's dark and gloomy and there's no electricity. But I thought I'll show you guys this before we get into the video where I make stitch markers. That's today's video. All right, guys, I'll be back to show you guys how to make stitch markers when the lighting has improved. Guys, I was supposed to be working on stitch markers. I don't know how I got sidetracked and started working on my Silhouette Studio application. I know I wanted to make some labels for my kitchenware, so I was talking about that this week. I guess that's what happened. I decided to work on that first, but don't worry, there'll be a stitch marker video coming up after this one. So once this one is finished, I'll upload the stitch marker video. I did that one as well. This day was a long day. So I did the Silhouette Studio designs, and then after that I worked on the stitch markers. So guys, don't worry, you'll still be able to see me do stitch markers. I am boiling corn. I want to go and check the corn and then start cooking my supper. It's what time is it? It's almost 1:30. I haven't eaten today. I usually eat once a day, a large meal that covers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's usually okay. Sometimes I eat twice a day, depending on how hungry I am, but most of the time I eat once a day. I'm working on my Silhouette Cameo 4. I'm making designs that I want to cut on the machine in the future. These are labels. I'm going to use these to cut out the labels because these are the only small ones I can find. I have large ones, but I don't want to waste or use them yet. I want to save them for like projects in the future. This is more to test and to see how it'll look. But let me go and check on my corn and start cooking. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back from cooking the corn. Nigerian corn is hard. No matter how long you cook it, it's going to be hard. You can cook it overnight and it'll still be hard. Just like their meat, just like everything in this country. Everything is hard. So anyway, the corn is finished. I tasted it, it's good. What I did was I cooked the corn. I took noodle seasoning, chicken noodle seasoning, added some chili, added some palm oil, and then I rubbed it all over the corn. So I'm gonna have it with my rice and beans. So the beans are cooking. Once the beans finish cooking, I'm going to add the rice. Once the rice finish cooking, I'm going to add palm oil. When everything gets good and marinates and joined together, I'm going to eat with my corn. So I'll show you guys what I'm eating later. So let me get back to this. What I'm doing is I'm having issues with the mushrooms because I want the outline of the mushrooms and then I want the individual circle outline, but I don't want the middle outline. That's what I want to eliminate, because when the machine cuts, I don't want it to separate the mushrooms into two parts. I want it to separate it into the mushroom by itself and then the circles. So now I have to figure out a way to just cut out the circles by themselves and then the mushroom by itself. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys are enjoying this video because I haven't been talking and I don't know how close my camera is to the computer so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to finish working on this, and Nepa took the light. There was light earlier, but while there was light, I was working on this. So next time you see this video is when I'm eating, and then you'll see me again when Nepa brings light and I start cutting on this machine. So I'm not going to hold you guys. I'm going to finish working on this. So next time I'm going to come on when it's time to eat. I'll see you guys later. All right, bye. This corn is the hardest corn I have ever eaten in my life. This corn is like eating plastic. I'm hoping this corn is not some fake corn that I'm eating. I have never eaten corn as hard as this. And the irony is, look at how easy it comes off the cob. It comes off so easily. It's not a struggle and it doesn't stick to your teeth, but this corn is so hard. I want to cry because I want to enjoy this corn, but I can't because it's so hard. I'm used to sweet, soft corn from America, and now I'm eating this corn in Nigeria, and it's the hardest corn I've ever eaten in my life. Disappointment. I'm so annoyed, and it looks so beautiful, but I'm wondering, is this corn fake, or have I been eating fake corn in America? Which one is fake? Is it this hard ass corn, or the soft one that I've been eating in America that is sweet? I want to cry. stopped, but the machine just spat out the tray before I can even film. It just it just spat it right out, so I wasn't able to film before it stopped. I'm kind of nervous. I don't think it did the job. It was supposed to be the force was supposed to be 10, but I moved it down to 7. So I'm kind of worried that 7 is too light and it didn't go through. So we're going to peel it back and see if it worked. Guys, this is what I was afraid of. I should have kept it at 10 like the machine had it, but I moved it to 7. And as you guys can see, it doesn't look like it went through. So 7 was definitely too light for vinyl. I'm not going to do it over today, but maybe tomorrow I'll do it over and I'll try it for 10 and see if it works. But it doesn't look like it worked. I'll still try and see. Guys, as you can see, this was a fail. I thought that I had to keep the paper on. I didn't know I had to take it off. So when it cut on this paper instead of that actual vinyl paper. So tomorrow when I cut, I'm going to put it on 10 and I'm going to take off the vinyl. So this is what happens. It cut on this part, but I guess I have to take this part off before I cut. I thought I had to leave it on to protect the vinyl, but I'm just going to remove the vinyl and try to figure out what to do with these. I'll be back. Alright guys, I tried to save it, but unfortunately I couldn't save it. I'm using the wrong settings to cut this vinyl, so I have to figure out what settings I'm supposed to use because I did something similar last year and my whole cutting board was wasted. I couldn't use the cutting board anymore because the letters were too small. They got stuck to the cutting board and I couldn't remove them. So now this time I used the wrong setting and it wasn't strong enough to cut through. So next time I'll listen to the Silhouette Studio and cut it at the level that it tells me to cut it, because it said to cut it at 10, and instead of cutting it at 10 I cut it at 7, thinking that 7 would be okay. So this is how it looks. It didn't cut through to the actual vinyl. It only cut in the cover. So you guys see? And I can't remove the vinyl to at least use this part to do some kind of design. I'll try again tomorrow. Alright guys, I tried to do some type of label design on my silhouette and I messed up. So either I'm going to have to use a different vinyl because all I do have is vinyl, or figure out what the problem is. Me, I didn't think that I had to take off the cover of the vinyl before cutting. I was thinking it was a protectant, but now I know in the future to take off the cover before I cut, and also to use the, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. The machine tells you the setting, the setting to use for whatever material you're cutting. So the setting was for 10 force and I moved it down to 7, and I think that was my second big mistake, was changing the setting to 7 instead of leaving it at 10. And my first big mistake was not removing the cover before I did the cutting. So tomorrow I'm going to try again. I'm going to remove the cover and I'm going to keep it at 7. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to figure something else out because I've done it before. but I don't remember what setting I used and how I was able to cut it, but I'm going to try again. Right now I'm tired. I've been working on this all day, from designing and then to cutting, and this was a fail, so I'm a little bit disappointed. This video was supposed to be me making stitch markers, but I got sidetracked and I started doing the labels. So it was a wasted day in some ways, but at least I know you have to fail before you can succeed.